right. Welcome to this episode of Real Estate Fight Club. This is a series called What Would You Do?, where we discuss professional standards committee cases and code of ethics violations. Here with me today is JimCamarata from KW in Minnesota. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good, good. Did you have too much coffee this morning?
Probably not enough, to be honest. And I need to take a couple of happy pills because I'm on a rager today. So good luck to you.
Okay.
Your favorite.
Should I put on my armor or what?
I think so. And we're going to be talking about advertising, which, I get all fired up about this.
Yeah, there's something to be said about truth in advertising.
Yeah,
Uh,
don't worry
because,
about it. It's
um,
advertising.
well, I heard a story yesterday that I'll relate later. Um, this individual agent listed a commercial property. It was like 9 different apartment units
Okay.
that have been
This
rented
is the
out.
case.
This is the
Okay,
case.
I'm ready.
Yeah. And advertised it as modern updates. Most units have new appliances, excellent earnings record, quote unquote.
Okay.
So this interested buyer said, "Yeah, man,
Great.
I'd like to take a look at this. This is exactly location and the size of the building and the price point. Everything looks good. Show me some units."
Right.
So he was shown 3 units. He
Okay.
These are all updated. They're looking great. I want to make an offer. Made an offer, was accepted.
I already know where this is going.
I'm sure you do. Went back to look at them. Said, okay, yeah, these 3 units are really outstanding. Did a great job. Let me look at the other units in the building.
Yeah, of course. That's how it works. Okay.
Guess what was not updated?
All the other units.
All the remaining units
Oh,
were not updated. And this buyer just went off the wall and said, this is just not acceptable.
like how far was
You
the gap?
misled
Does
me.
it say?
You misled me. You said modern appliances. And the agent said, well, there are in those 3. Show me the earnings
Yeah.
records. I want to see the financials over the past few years. High vacancy rates and low earnings.
Well, that's a flat out lie then.
So, obviously, there was a lot of misleading information about this.
Yeah.
And naturally, the buyer said, I'm taking you before the ethics committee.
Is that
And
natural? No.
I
They'd say,
am,
I'm not offering that price. I'm offering this instead, or I'm pulling the contract.
yeah. And he probably submitted a cancellation based on all the misinformation that was put out there. The case doesn't relate to that. I would
I would
assume that the
assume.
buyer
But
said,
yeah, right.
I'm out of here, but filed an ethics complaint
Okay.
alleging violation of Article 12.
And
And
that
I know
says,
and I know exactly what you're going to ask me.
yes.
Article 12 says realtors shall be honest and truthful in their real estate communications and shall present a true picture in their advertising, marketing, and other representations. So that's a broad category, other representations, and allege that this agent had violated Article 12 by all of this misleading information. So, you want to take your break now and then we'll come back to it?
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So I want to tell you about two of our favorite partners. The first one is my coach, Coach John Kitchens, and we have gotten a number of questions about how to build teams, even like should I be on a team or build my own or whatever. And so John's put together a report to help you, the agent, get clear about what it is that you ought to be doing. So go to coachcodeclarity.com for that free report, take the quick assessment, and get an idea of what your next steps could be. The other one I want to tell you about is Cyberbacker, which is our VAs that we have. So we know the work that you should be doing and the work you should not. And instead of doing the work that you should, you do the work that you shouldn't. But we're going to stop that today. So get your own VA, go to cyberbacker.com and put Fight Club for a special prize. All right, Jim, back to the show.
Okay. I just got a little notification that my internet is a little unstable. At one point, you froze. So bear with me.
So is this agent's case. It's unstable.
I think it's talking about the internet, not me.
Not you.
Oh, okay. So anyway, uh, this buyer alleged violation of Article 12, and the agent defended himself by saying, "Well, since the building was 10 years old, he felt that he was
That feels like
legitimate
modern.
in describing the units that had modern appliances, and most units have updated appliances. There's only 3.
10 years is oh, that's okay. What about the
Uh,
other claim about the financials?
well, I was standing next to a lady at the pharmacy this morning, and she was, you have to give your birth date, and I looked over at her. She's 1 year older than I am, and she looked like she was 20 years older. I'm sitting there going,
Oh,
so
wow.
buildings, like people, can either age well or not.
True.
And so anyway, this alleged modern, well-kept building
Was
had
not.
had some units other than the 3 that have been
That
updated
reminds me, I
that were
saw
not
this
updated.
TikTok. They have this thing on like this trend where you put like the age that you were. And there was you know where this is going. There was this lady who was very proud that based upon her age, she would have been 42. And I was like, "Oh, wah, wah." This lady looked at least 55, probably like closer to 60. So, to your point, yes, I don't actually believe her. That was a lie. I want to take her. She's probably a realtor. And some of y'all's pictures, those
Oh,
realtor
no.
pictures, that's misleading advertising
Get rid of the high school photos.
in your glamour shots photo.
What?
And when you started in real estate 20 years ago, that photo too. It's terrible. Jim,
I
I'm
know,
gonna
I
look at
know.
your
Well,
photo.
I don't have a mustache anymore.
When
So
did you
that
take your last headshot, Jim?
oh, that 4 years ago.
I feel like mine was like 3 or 4 years ago too. I feel like it's time for us to get new ones.
Yeah, yeah, you're probably right, and
Every
I need to look at that.
3 well, unless it's your first year in real estate, then you should get one next year just because that first year is rough. It's like the freshman 15, but it's like with age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so the
Anyway,
guy defended himself with the modern appliances. I can
uh,
give some leeway. What
yeah,
did he say about the earnings?
they were poor. There were losses. There were years with losses,
But he
not
claimed
excellent
that it
earnings.
was not.
Excellent, quote unquote, excellent earnings. And so the
Ex
earnings weren't there, the condition wasn't there. It was totally misleading to this buyer, and the committee did find him in violation of Article 12. Um, an agent told me about one of her new associates that she's mentoring,
Yeah.
and they had an open house, and okay, so the open house was it backed right up to a major artery in through the Twin Cities,
Okay.
and she overheard her colleague say to a prospective purchaser, "Oh yeah, this is a quiet neighborhood." She jumped on that. She said, "The street might be quiet because it's a cul-de-sac and there's no traffic. You've got a major highway behind here, and even the sound wall doesn't block out all the sound. So you really do have to be careful about what you say and how you say it."
But I would say, yes. I also think that sometimes some of our colleagues take it too far. I call them Captain Sabaho, but it's like they wanna, like, just do everything for their client. While I agree with you, quiet neighborhood when it backs up to a highway feels misleading. This guy, when he says great financials and they're trash, Like, I think most people can agree that negative financials are not great financials unless you're trying to take a loss, right? Which some people do.
Some people do. Yeah.
But I think like it's appropriate to say, hey, look at the map. The highway's close. There is a whatever, a sound barrier. Well, you'll just have to see for yourself because for some people, it's not a problem. For some people, it is. Do you know what I mean? I also think it's an exaggeration if you're like, oh my God, I can't, like, if you go the other way, like, it is so noisy because
Yeah.
there's clearly a lot of people that live there and they're fine with it.
Yeah. And you clearly can't hide it.
You can't hide it. Like, it's open and obvious.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm just saying there's exaggeration on both sides.
Yeah. Uh, and that's fairly obvious. But when you have a particular piece of property and you know there are things that are not quite right, you've got to be honest and disclose those.
But if they're
If you don't have
obvious,
if you don't have a track record of 10 years of profit and low vacancy rates and things like that, that's not a good performing building.
yeah, but you don't
You
have to
have to
say it's a poor performing building. You
No,
just
you don't.
don't say that it's high performing.
That's the key. You don't over exaggerate and say, "Oh, this is a wonderful opportunity." No, you can't say that, you know?
But you
You
also don't say this is the worst building financials I've ever seen in my life.
say no, but you could say it's got tremendous potential.
Tremendous potential. This cozy house.
Cozy,
Oh,
small.
this, yeah. I don't
So,
know. But haven't
anyway.
you seen haven't you seen our colleagues do that where they're just like overcompensating for something too?
Yeah, yeah, and I've encouraged, my agents to look at the lifestyle. What kind of story can you tell? If you're if you're out in the
Mhm.
country, some people may look at it and say, "Man, I'm out in the sticks. I'm out in the boonies."
Yeah, I hate
No,
that.
there's a lifestyle, and maybe there's a horse farm next door. So if you love horses, if you love nature, this is the story that you tell. You
Right.
know, if
No,
you're a
I agree.
downtownie, if you're a downtownie, you can walk to all of the
All
cool
these
stuff
places.
where
Yeah,
the happening places, where all my friends will be hanging out.
exactly. No, I
So
like it.
anyway,
So
it's a
it
lifestyle.
yeah, so exaggerating is a no-no according to article what article? 12?
12, 12, 12. Yeah, just don't do it.
We can what is the thing at the bottom of the MLS is that says like it's deemed something not accurate? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Reliable. It says deemed reliable, not accurate.
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
have
that's
to
what it says.
see if I've got one in here.
But I like your idea of like, okay, who is the buyer for this property and what do they want and point out those features because I have seen in the MLS too where in the agent remarks the agents will put like all the bad things about the property. And see, I think like of course you want like let's say you have a property that has a giant tower like in the front yard, right? Like you may well, let me ask you this. Is it a violation of Article 12 to put the picture where that's been photoshopped out?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
damn.
you will.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, in one of the CE classes that
Mhm.
they teach, thou shalt not Photoshop the high power tension lines behind the house or the cracks going down the
I mean, I
chimney.
say try it. Try it.
No, don't. No.
See if you
Uh,
get in trouble. It's a slap on the wrist. You'll be fine.
okay, here's what it says: information deemed reliable but not guaranteed.
There you go. Boom. So you can exaggerate a little, you just can't exaggerate a lot.
I'm not going there.
Unless you're team Jim.
You said you were feisty this morning. You are.
I feel like this is normal behavior. You have to push the envelope a little bit because here's the thing. I know the MLS is technically an offer of compensation. However, we use it as a marketing tool. So for a marketing tool, I would Photoshop out the high power tension line. Now, the truth be told, I have not done this. I'm just like thinking theoretically. I have included it in the picture because, I mean, it's there. But you could. I mean, you're not allowed according to Article 12. But I'm just saying, hear me out. So you Photoshop it out because it's for marketing, it attracts more buyers, right? And then you like call and where you say, hey, it's been photoshopped out, or you call because you should be calling the buyer agent. If you're not watching this on YouTube, you should be.
Jim is shaking his head no.
He's upset. He's shaking his head. He wishes he could throw something at me. All right, I'll stop there.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Stay out of realtor jail. It's
There's
not
no
worth
realtor
it.
jail.
You can adjust your professional photographer can adjust the angle.
Oh, then it's okay. That's the same
You're
damn thing.
not photoshopping anything out of it.
Oh
You can
my
get different
God.
angles on a property.
Please
Now,
have it noted that Jim
I
is.
also use a drone, which will show the whole thing.
Yeah, but you don't have to use a drone.
No.
All right. Well, Jim just told you how to get around a rule. The rule is Photoshop. Don't Photoshop it. Just change
don't
the
Photoshop
angle.
anything. Tell it like it is. Well, as soon as they drive up, they're going to see it.
I know it's open and obvious.
But it has not been Photoshopped.
All right. I like it.
Okay.
I like your ways. I think I'm wearing off on you.
Oh my God.
Lucky you. Well, Jim, if people have a question for you, they have a referral in Minnesota, how can they get a hold of you?
JimCamarata at kw.com or 612-562-7461.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ciao.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a podcast.